There's been a lot of news lately about the ban on evictions, but what can you do right now if you owe months or even a year in back rent? I'm Zach Dodge with a few things coming up.
The Kansas House advances legislation that would legalize medical marijuana, but it might not make it to the Senate.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The federal stay on evictions will continue until July after a court ruling saying to end it. This is KOAM News at 6. The federal eviction moratorium has kept landlords from evicting tenants since last year. That ban on evictions will continue at least through June because of a stay on a recent court ruling. But when it does lift, all of the back rent renters have accrued will be due. KOAM's Zach Dodge has what experts recommend to do now to save a lot of headache later.
This week, a district judge ruled that the CDC exceeded their authority when putting a ban on evictions in place last year. But following an appeal by the Justice Department, a stay of judgment was put into place, meaning the ban will continue through June. Something that'll give renters time to figure out a plan for when it does end.
These renters who have just been living for free are going to be kind of out of luck anyway, because they are going to owe all the back money that they did owe.
Brian Carberry, the managing editor for Rent.com, says the stay is a temporary reprieve for more than 4 million renters facing eviction in the U.S. But it's just that, temporary.
Some of these renters that are behind are really going to have to start kind of getting in gear and figuring out what they need to do.
Something that could go a long way, he says, is pretty simple. Have a conversation with your landlord and set up a plan for paying that money back.
Most people are human. I mean, everyone's human, but most people are going to understand what you're going through because they've been dealing with financial difficulties too.
There are also some statewide grant programs that could help you get caught back up on your back rent. But experts say the key there is to apply as soon as you can.
They will pay back rent for you, and then going forward, they will pay up to 3 months in advance for rent. So if you have 12 months that you owe and then you need another 3 months, they can potentially pay all of that.
That's the KOAM program in Kansas, specifically created for people impacted by the pandemic. And in Missouri, the SAFER program does the exact same thing. SEK CAP also has other programs they're working on, and they want to help.
Give us a call, anybody.
Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
We're going to have more details on those rental assistance programs on our website later tonight. That site is KOAMnewsnow.com. CCAP will stop accepting applications for one of its rental assistance programs next week. That's the program funded through the Tenant-Based Rental Assistance Grant. The deadline to apply for rental assistance is 4 p.m. May 14th. The program assists qualifying individuals and families with rental subsidies and/or security and utility deposits. The weather was a bit hit and miss, kind of spotty showers out there, Doug.
Yeah, on and off showers throughout the day. Kind of started during the morning hours on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side and then shifted east as we went into the afternoon hours. And then even a few little thunder showers have popped up in our southern counties over the past couple hours. Some of these have contained some moderate rainfall and even some very small hail, but nothing too strong or severe out of this round of thunderstorms. Another round building out across the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Some of these will try to head toward us late tonight and then into the early morning hours. So additional scattered thunderstorms. Some of those could be a little bit stronger, but I'm not expecting anything severe. Temps right now, most of us lower 60s. You can see a warm front draped right through here. So that's why we're getting these showers kind of firing off. And again, late tonight, especially after midnight, we'll get more scattered thunderstorms blowing up across the region. Even a low severe threat as we head into the weekend. So of course, we're going to break down that forecast for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. The Independence, Kansas Police Department says someone died in a house fire today. They're not yet releasing the name. Crews responded to the fire on North 24th Street this morning. Authorities do not believe the death was caused by, quote, criminal activity. The state fire marshal's office is assisting in that investigation. A bill to legalize medical marijuana has passed in the Kansas House for the first time, but the Senate is not expected to consider it in the final days of the annual session. Some legalization advocates were hopeful that strong support for the bill among Republicans in the House would spur Senate leaders to debate it this session. Senate President Ty Masterson's spokesperson says a budget bill and school funding legislation have taken priority this week. Missouri lawmakers have approved a $35 billion budget that includes no funding for a Medicaid expansion approved by voters. The budget increases funding for public schools, universities, hospitals, and nursing homes. Republicans said it also includes more money for the current Medicaid program, but not to expand coverage to thousands of low-income adults, as laid forth in a 2020 constitutional amendment. Governor Mike Parson's administration says it'll evaluate its legal requirements on what to do next regarding the Medicaid expansion. While lawmakers didn't pass funding for the voter-approved Medicaid expansion, the House did vote in favor of creating Rush Limbaugh Day. They tacked the provision on another bill, which then passed the chamber. Several Missouri state lawmakers have proposed honoring the late Limbaugh every January 12th, his birthday. The Cape Girardeau native gained national fame before he died in February at age 70 after a battle with cancer. Supporters say Limbaugh was a conservative icon worthy of the honor. Opponents slammed his rhetoric as divisive. Still ahead, our Staycation series takes us to the Sooner State and the trip to the past you can find near Grand Lake. And later, Missouri Southern Baseball is wrapping up their season, and tonight they take on Rogers State. We'll have the highlights in sports. Can't talk about four-state staycation destinations without mentioning Grand Lake. It spans 4 counties in northeast Oklahoma with diverse communities dotting its coves and shores. But as KOAM photojournalist Liam Mandelbaum found out, there's one near Grove that's a little more than old-fashioned.
The collection here is phenomenal, and the setting is just beautiful. It's overlooking the lake, and it's really inspirational.
We are at Harbor Village Museum in Grove, Oklahoma. We are a Pioneer Era museum. We have all of our exhibits housed in period piece log cabins. Really, it's very immersive, so you're going to plan to spend the entire day here. It's very history-based, of course, because we are a museum. There's a lot to be learned here.
It also gets into the ecology and the environment because our ancestors didn't live in a disposable society like we do. And so when things wore out, they recycled it or repurposed it into something else. So it ties in with the education on the environment and the ecology as well as the way our ancestors lived day to day.
7 days a week, something's hopping here. We're a hidden gem, of course. I would say so. There are people within 60 miles that have no idea we've been here for 53 years.
The Harbor Village has everything from live blacksmiths and weavers to butter churning for school groups. So if you'd like to check it out, you should know they're open from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Thursday through Monday. Later, Missouri Southern softball opens up post-conference tournament play against Missouri Western. We're going to have the highlights in sports.
Plus, we're going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next few hours. We're going to look at that coming up next. Well, kind of a chilly Friday for us today. Plus, we've had some on and off showers as we have gone through the daytime hours for us today. Even a few little thunder showers across the region. Nothing strong, nothing severe. We're not going to see anything like that as we work through the rest of the evening hours. But you can see these scattered thunderstorms in our southern counties. We had a first batch kind of pushed through. Second batch has developed over the past couple hours. I think after the second batch, we won't see much more for at least several hours, and then more will start to pop up later on tonight. But you can see in our southern counties, we do have a few scattered little thunder showers. So we're looking at one across McDonald County, southern parts of Newton County, maybe some very small hail, a little bit of thunder and lightning, and then stretching back through southern Delaware and also Benton County in northwestern Arkansas. Besides that, most of us look pretty good. Temperatures, a little cool, especially for this time of the year, sitting into low to mid 60s, and then with a little bit of sunshine kind of rebounding back into the upper 60s in our western counties. But a lot of clouds currently outside. We are sitting At 63, south winds at about 10 to 15. Humidity is at 52%. We'll slide back through the 60s into the upper 50s as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So not as cold as what we have seen over the past couple nights. But this is the first initial wave of our whole storm system, which is really getting organized out to the west. Also, we got these thunderstorms down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, and those are going to try to surge toward us later on tonight. But this is the warm sector. You can see a warm front just to our west. So we're on the stable side. Here's the more unstable side. And because we're on the stable side, that's why we aren't seeing anything too strong or severe, and we shouldn't as we go through the overnight hours. Let's go through time. Here's 9 p.m., not too much going on. And then thunderstorms start popping up, 11, midnight, 1 a.m. These are mainly going to be from Fort Scott, Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, down toward Branson and also Table Rock Lake. But some of these could be a little bit stronger, maybe some small hail and some gusty winds, but should stay below the severe limit and also drop some heavy amounts of rain. And then most of these are out of here by morning. As we go through the morning hours, we may have a few random showers, and then I think most of the day looks pretty good. In fact, we're really going to warm up tomorrow, 81, 82 degrees across the region. So it's going to be warm, it's going to be breezy, and we should be dry all day long. 57 to start, 75 by noon, high temp of 81. Now, tomorrow evening, we start to get thunderstorms out across central Kansas. These will most likely be strong to severe. They're going to kind of ride I-70 toward Kansas City. We're going to be kind of on the very southern end, but our northern counties definitely have a chance for some severe weather, and we'll have to see kind of how these come together as we go through tomorrow night. But majority of the severe weather is going to stay to our north as we head into Saturday night. So I'll put us in a low threat, but the farther south you live, the lesser you have a chance of getting any thunderstorms at all. 9 p.m. until 4 a.m. This is Saturday night into Sunday morning. Main threats, not really worried about it at this time, but we'll watch it over the next 24 hours. All right, 81 tomorrow, 70 on Mother's Day, morning showers. Mother's Day afternoon is going to be fine. And then kind of chilly with showers sticking around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
It helps with figuring out those Mother Day weekend plans and when we can be outside and when we need to keep an eye on the sky.
Most of the weekend is going to be pretty good.
Looks that way. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern Zach Parrish is the new Division II career strikeouts king. We're going to have details. Plus, Pitt State begins its final weekend series of the regular season. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
This weekend is the final weekend of the regular season for MIAA baseball. The Missouri Southern Lions are at home for their final 3 games before the conference tournament, hosting Rogers State. Now they're playing 2 today. We're going to get right to it. Huge day for that guy right there, Southern pitcher Zach Parrish. Top of the first inning, Parrish gets the strikeout, his first of the day. More from him in just a moment. The bottom half, Troy Gagnon shoots it back up the middle, scores Jordan Fitzpatrick. It's a huge inning for Moso. Second time through, Henry Kusiak with 2 on. Clears the fence and left for the 3-run jack. Lions score 11 in the first. Back to Parrish. Another strikeout here for the senior. Then, this is the big one. This strikeout here, the 474th career strikeout for Parrish. That's a new Division II all-time record. Southern wins at 12-6. Zach Parrish is the new Division II strikeout king.
Everyone's kind of stood up and cheered, and then it kind of hit me a little bit. I was like, wow, that's really it right there. Records are meant to be broke, so who knows how long mine will stay up there, but I'm just enjoying the moment right now.
For Zach to be able to do it at home, it's great, and what an accomplishment, something that everybody, our guys and Zach obviously will remember forever. So awesome accomplishment. Zach is such a hard worker. He's so deserving of it, and just great to see it.
In Game 2, it's all tied up at 2 in the top of the 8th inning. Now, after it finishes up, the 2 teams will wrap up a 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas kick off their final series today with a doubleheader against Emporia State, but there we go. We'll pick it up in the 3rd inning. Cruz Aranda gonna hit it over the wall out there in right center. It's a 2-run home run. Our guy, am I right, Murray? Gorillas on the board. Next batter, Ryan Koval, follows suit with a solo homer the same way. PSU within 1. Later, Sam Chaput, line drive up the middle for the base hit. 2 runs score. turned into a big inning for the Hornets. They take a 10-3 lead. A last effort in the ninth. Check it out. Brett Daly, two-run jack out to left center. That makes it a one-run ball game. But Emporia State finishes a tight one. Hornets win it 11-10. Game 2, not really going that well right now. Pitt State trails at 10-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Well, it's playoff time for the Missouri Southern softball team. Southern has a 3-game series against Missouri Western to kick off the quarterfinal round of the MIAA Conference Tournament. Now, the Lions are the number 3 seed after going 28-13-1 in the regular season. Now, today, they went down 4-0 in the top of the second, but here they come. Kara Amos all the way out to the fence in center. Ashlyn Williams scores the Lions' first run. Now, moments later, first and third for Yasmin Vargas. Great piece of hitting there, scores Adriana Young. Then, Michaela Linhart back up the middle. Ball bounces away. Sydney Hurst scores. Game now tied up, finally. Bases loaded for Leighton Withers. Really thought she had a grand slam here, man. Withers off the fence and right. That scores all 3. Lions score 7 in the second to take a 3-run lead. Missouri Southern hangs on to win this one in the end, 7-5. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Lieutenant Henry Burkle served in the U.S. Army during World War II and the Korean War. His hometown, West Mineral, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Lieutenant Henry Burkle. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to meet the first nurses to graduate from PSU's new nurse practitioner residency program. Also, reaction to a disappointing monthly economic report by the Labor Department. Plus, some attorneys and marriage counselors say they expect to see a rise in what's being called gray divorces. We're going to explain that and much more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Jordan, thanks. You have to crawl before you can art walk. The usual art walk scheduled for spring was canceled because of the pandemic. As an alternative, the Pittsburgh Art Walk Committee organized this week-long art crawl so people could support local artists while still practicing social distancing. Couldn't come at a better time, as lots of folks are looking for a way to blow off some steam in a constructive way.
Art to me is a release. It's a stress release for me. I've been a singer and a musician and don't do that anymore, and was just wanting to find a way to be creative. And so about 8 months ago, I started watching people on YouTube and started to develop a couple different styles.
In addition to the physical artwork, businesses participating in the art crawl display QR codes on outside windows linking to songs from local musicians. Pittsburgh Art Crawl wraps up tomorrow at 5. You might want to get out and enjoy that tomorrow. And the weather for tonight and the weekend, for the most part, looks okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there through the overnight hours tonight, but I really think most of the daytime hours tomorrow is going to be dry. It's going to be warm, a little breezy, all the way up to 81. We do got to watch for a few thunderstorms late tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.